Number 10. Batman Earth 1. If Batman Year 1 were written today, it would be Batman Earth 1. It's a modern retelling of Batman's early years where he's not an infallible master detective who moves like a shadow. A point driven home when, while chasing a crook over the city rooftops, his grappling gun malfunctions and he lands in a pile of trash below. Also, instead of being best buds with Jim Gordon, he winds up socking him in the face. The crucial element that makes this story work is the overhaul of Alfred Pennyworth's character. No longer a kindly butler, Alfred is an ex-MI6 agent who, instead of serving him tea and tending to his wounds, beats the crap out of Bruce to teach him a lesson. It's a refreshing spin on the classic dynamic that lets us appreciate how Batman would adapt to a world with more realistic limitations. Number 9. The Dark Knight Returns. This is the one where Batman kicks Superman's ass. Set a decade after Batman's retirement, The Dark Knight Returns offers a grim vision of the future of Gotham City. Times are bleak and Gotham is in need of a hero. And Bruce Wayne? Well, he's been fighting his obsession for a decade. He simply can't hold out any longer. He puts the suit back on to face off against his oldest foe and his oldest friend. The Dark Knight Returns is a masterpiece of comic book storytelling. The pages are packed, sometimes with dozens of panels, overcrowded even. And yet Miller creates a distinct pacing through each page and builds to perhaps the most optimistic ending in any Batman story. Yeah, Frank Miller ends with a touch of optimism. Number 8. The Killing Joke. The Joker, Batman's greatest foe. His goal is chaos, but the beauty of his madness is the incredible amount of thought he puts into each caper. In The Killing Joke, the clown prince of crime decides he wants to prove that, given the right push, anyone would fall into madness. To go about this, he torments down-to-earth Jim Gordon. All the while, we're given glimpses into the Joker's origin and see what pushed him over the edge. The Killing Joke isn't just a brilliant origin story for comics' most famed villain. It also clearly defines what separates the good guys from the crazy guys. When push comes to shove, the sane ones shove back. The crazies allow themselves to go over the edge. Number 7. Batman Hush. Jeff Loeb has mastered the lengthy storyline that cycles through Batman's rogues gallery. Usually these are stories from Batman's past. But Hush is a modern tale that uses some of the same clever gimmicks as The Long Halloween. We're left to wonder at the identity of a new mastermind villain named Hush, who's playing all of Batman's old enemies in an effort to ruin the Dark Knight's life. It's a mystery with a controversial resolution. But if the journey is what matters, well then, Hush belongs on the list of the 25 must-read Batman books. Number 6. Batman: The Long Halloween. Someone in Gotham's decided to make a killing during the holidays. Each issue tackles another holiday as the year winds round. This new holiday killer has the mob, the cops, Arkham's crazies, and the Batman all on edge. The Long Halloween is both a great mystery, among the best told in Batman's long history, and a new look at the Dark Knight's early career when the status quo of Gotham City was changing. The Long Halloween has all the ingredients of a classic Batman story. A mysterious killer, appearances by notable villains, striking visuals, and an imperfect ending to the case. Special credit to Loeb for making one of the dumbest characters ever created, Calendar Man, appear interesting and necessary. As an added bonus, Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale reunited for a worthy sequel series, Dark Victory. Number 5. Arkham Asylum, a serious house on serious Earth. Arkham Asylum is home to some of the most twisted villains the DCU has to offer. What is it like to walk its winding halls and be confronted by so many deranged killers and madmen? Arkham Asylum, a serious house on serious Earth, is as close as we ever want to get to experiencing that for ourselves. This 1989 graphic novel follows Batman's surreal journey as he ventures inside an Arkham overrun by rioting inmates. Even as he encounters one iconic foe after another, he learns about the twisted history of the facility and the possibly supernatural forces at play. With a creative team as unique as Grant Morrison and Dave McKean, this is an odyssey neither Batman nor his readers will soon forget. Number 4. Gotham by Gaslight. Set in the Victorian era, the origin of Batman hasn't changed much in Gotham by Gaslight. Bruce Wayne's parents were murdered. He traveled abroad to train so that he could return to Gotham as its protector. Only catch is that while Bruce was in London, A madman was on the loose cutting up prostitutes. And when Bruce returns home to Gotham, the murders follow him. If you're going to suspect someone of slashing up ladies with a scalpel, why not the eccentric son of a doctor? After all, can Bruce Wayne explain his nocturnal habits? Number 3. Batman, the Court of Owls. Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo had a tall order to fill when they took the reins of DC's relaunched Batman comic in 2011. They had to assuage the fears of those fans nervous about DC's New 52 reboot and somehow follow the impossible act that is writer Grant Morrison. And somehow they succeeded in both goals. Snyder and Capullo kicked off their run by introducing a brand new group of villains to Gotham City, the Court of Owls. This centuries-old shadowy organization forced Batman to confront the fact that he doesn't know his own city nearly as well as he thought. That fueled a personal odyssey that dragged Batman through the depths of Gotham and pitted him against a new arch-rival from a very unexpected source. The Court of Owls immediately established Batman as one of the best comics of the New 52 era, and Snyder and Capullo as one of the most effective teams working in comics. Number 2. Batman, the Man Who Laughs. A madman is targeting Gotham's elite, and next on his hit list is millionaire playboy Bruce Wayne. This is Batman's introduction to his most nefarious villain, the Joker. Where Alan Moore's The Killing Joke tells the origin of the clown prince of crime, The Man Who Laughs details the first tussle between Joker and Batman. Brubaker is one of the best crime writers in comics. He manages to bring some of that noir flair to The Man Who Laughs while maintaining the proper tone and pace for a good Batman yarn. To my knowledge, this is the only story to ever suggest that, like Bruce Wayne, the Joker had to practice to perfect his art. And that's ultimately what makes the Joker so frightening. His psychosis is not chaotic, not as random as you might think. There's a methodology and a purposefulness to many of his actions. Number 1. Batman Gothic. Where did Bruce Wayne go to school? We know about Wayne's training to become the Batman, but in Gothic, we get a glimpse into Bruce Wayne's life before his parents were murdered. This ties into a series of grisly murders in Batman's early days in the Cape and Cowl. Gothic is a detective story, a horror story, and a thriller that teams Morrison with the great Klaus Janson. Religion and Batman aren't married in comics as often as they should be. Morrison plays it perfectly. For those a little worried about a Morrison head trip, relax. Nothing in these pages will damage your brain too much.